Bernie! Bernie Sanders! Feel the burn. Oh man. I gotta tell you guys, I wanted to be out of the United States before the 2016 election cycle really started up, but I'm kind of enjoying it right now. Only because I have made it past the threshold, past the veil, and I realize that the entire political system is a joke. It has no significance or consequence whatsoever. It's all a mind fuck and an illusion. And once you have that perspective, oh man, it's all just a joke. It's all just entertainment. And you don't have to get so mad about it. It's all for show. All the world is a stage, and all the men and women merely players, especially politicians. Never forget that. But realistically, I like Bernie Sanders. He's a likable guy. He's an old socialist who doesn't want to talk about anything but the oligarchy and how Wall Street, basically screwed everyone over, which is good. Yeah, people should be aware that there's a moneyed elite that rules pretty much the whole world, and to deny that is willful ignorance on a massive, deep scale at this point. The only problem is that telling a nice story and blowing smoke up people's asses with "we're going to give you everything for free" doesn't actually amount to a coherent plan. And in fact, we have a century of data at this point to prove that socialism does not work. Not because it's too utopian and people, they're not perfect enough for communism. No, it's bullshit, okay? Ludwig von Mises, 1930, okay? He wrote a book about socialism. He's one of the greatest economists of the entire world, of all history. He basically put down in paper exactly why socialism does not work. And again, it's not because humans aren't perfect enough. It's because when you mess with the pricing mechanism in the economy, any good, any service, right? We agree on a price. I want you to wash this window. I'll give you 20 bucks, right? If you think it's more work, more value for you providing a clean window than the $20 I'm giving you, then you'll demand a higher price and you won't take lower. And that process by which we find a price is the foundation of the economy. It is the foundation of capitalism, and without that, everything starts to fall apart, okay? It's like hijacking the brain. It's like taking drugs on the mass human body, which is the economy. When you say, we're not going to allow this to be sold or bought for less or more than this price. And stay with me, I know this gets a little confusing because they don't teach you a damn thing about economics in school. Nobody. They'll teach you about Louis the 14th and freaking chemistry and biology. They don't teach you how to balance a checkbook. They don't teach you accounting. They don't teach you basic economics, right? Because if you took Economics 101, you'd be able to see through every one of Bernie Sanders' fictitious made-up programs. And again, I like the guy. I want him to beat Hillary Clinton so bad because she represents everything that is just completely foobar and awful and evil with politics today. So I hope Bernie gets a nomination. Go Bernie! But, however, that being said, socialism does not work. It will not work because it messes with the pricing mechanism. And I'm not saying this as, because my dad was in finance. I'm not saying this because I like the idea of being rich. I was a socialist, okay? I was a communist. I read the manifesto. I took it to that extreme, and I realized the error of my ways by dispassionately considering all the evidence. And when I understood that socialism cannot work because it abridges the natural pricing mechanism that the entire world and the entire economy is based on, I owned up to my mistake and I said, you know what, I was wrong. And I consider it a virtuous trait for a human being to have, to admit when they're wrong. I think what's truly childish is not admitting that we are wrong, it's persisting in delusion once it has already come to light. That's truly when you're wrong. If you're just wrong because you're ignorant, we're all ignorant until we're not, okay? But once you know that you are wrong, you have an opportunity to either say, yes, I own up to that and I'm going to change now because I'm intellectually honest. Or you can sweep it all under the rug and say, well, it's just the capitalists and they just don't like socialism and they're 99%. Come on, are we going to have a coherent dialogue and narrative for our species here in 2016, or is it just going to be, I want free things? Come on, if you're going for Bernie because he's the best option amongst evils, that's okay, I get that. But don't you dare tell me that socialism is this paradisical, philosophy that's going to bring us all home to nirvana, because We tried it, and if you're gonna try and say that American socialism is gonna be fundamentally different and better than Soviet socialism or Cuban socialism or Chinese socialism, it's not gonna fly because you're wrong, and it's numbers, and numbers don't lie. Liars can figure, but figures don't lie, and that's it. I'm going to be coming out with a series of videos explaining precisely why the minimum wage is a completely flawed uh, suggestion right on its face, another thing you'd learn in Econ 101, but I'm happy to bring that to everyone, not because I want to sound smart, but because you're playing with fire here, okay? When you give central power to the state, it tends to do some pretty messed up things with that power. So just know what you're doing, and I'll bring you some information if it'll help. But yeah, again, go Bernie. Fuck Hillary.